from
in the portal. He's working out with Bryce Young today. I mean,
absolutely.
Well, who cares? I mean, what do you think is gonna happen?
I don't know. He's going back to Pitt.
You're the best receiver. You're the best receiver in the transfer portal. Why would you not want to go play with the best quarterback in the draft coming out next year? That's not so surprising me. I mean, are y'all mad that?
No.
You know what I mean?
I respect it. Like you can't be mad at the athlete for
I'm not mad. Like I
wanting
understand
money and taking
I
money.
understand what
out
he's doing, but like he's the one that's in the portal, right? Because he's not getting paid
But
NIL stuff. That I don't agree with that.
But here's what bothers me. Look, I get it. The person
NIL's coming down. Like
the person I'm about to use.
Coming,
the person I'm about to use did it obviously because of the COVID situation. But like, if he can do that, then what's the difference between somebody going and winning the Biletnikoff and having another year and just being like in this quarterback league, just be like, hey, I'm good. I'm out. I'm not gonna play this year.
No, I respect that a little more. But I mean, in this situation, I guess he was just like, I want another year in college, and they're paying me $3 million, which is more than second rounders. Like the top pick in the second round, his signing bonus was like $3.9 million. This dude's getting $3 million to move to LA and play another year of college, which I mean,
in college baseball, I mean, there's some guys that's like, I'd make so much more money off NIL than hang sandwich
playing baseball,
bad bus ride,
exactly.
Topeka.
And he's only this will be his junior year, so he he probably wants to play at least And I know Jamar Chase left early, but
Micah Parsons. I mean,
that's
those
I don't mind wanting to go to a better school and better competition and show off your skills, but then coming out and verbally saying, "Hey, I'm going there because
of money.
I'm getting paid more." Like that's not good for college. I don't think.
Well, I don't think he's come out and said it, but it's out there.
I do realize like this is going to trickle down to high school next.
Yeah,
right?
it's already
way
started
more,
in high
but
school.
like way more than that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's where it's going to be like this is.
Look, I'm all for.
John Curtis has been doing this for years.
The kid there's a quarterback from California that's committed to Tennessee, and they're paying him $8 million. So
$8 million. No,
$8 million. He's a high school senior right now. He's going to be a senior next year.
Some of these numbers I don't believe.
No, this is true. Like
this one's been out here for a while.
But the $8 million, like, have we seen?
This is literally my point.
Have they said the deals? Like, you can say whatever you want. I don't know because they talked about other money that wasn't true.
Well, it was reported by The Athletic. So, this is somebody from The Athletic that's talked to people at Tennessee that have told him, because Tennessee has a huge collective. Like, they just got Brew McCoy, who was like a 5-star receiver in the class of 2019. He went to Texas, left Texas, went to USC, left USC, now he's at Tennessee. But, I mean, they have huge money to just
I don't want those guys
spend.
on my team.
Oh, okay.
I don't because there's
what
more
it is
to it
now.
than just there's so many talented
How
guys.
much did you enjoy the two guys that came in here that didn't do that?
Whom?
Patrick Queen.
Oh, well, yeah, I know,
So
but that's
my
what makes
point
them
to it is,
good.
you can be talented, but like there's got to be more to you than just the surface of like I want money, I want dollars. Like if you don't have the commitment to be the best the player that you are and be able to play the game for the right reasons, you're never going to get to where you want to be.
Think about it, bro. As fans, we get pissed about how like athletes move and stuff in professional ball, but like all of a sudden we're giving this passes to kids who haven't really made it anywhere yet. I think it's ridiculous at the end of the day, honestly. Because that stuff, the portal and this and the NIL stuff, dude, it's worse than free agency and all that stuff.
Paid. Like if you want to get, if you're playing well and you're playing at school and like you want to monetize your name, like I'm all for that. But I'm not for just being able to do whatever the fuck you want and not saying I'm gonna work for something and like just because they're gonna give it to you, like, hey, dude, there's a lot of guys out there that are really good and. If you don't perform, you should not get paid.
I'll say this. I don't like the thought of guys literally basically slutting themselves out me either. Bouncing all over. Man, get out of here, bro.
Now you're in the first year of the case study I think you're going to see in Texas A&M, whereas you're a 5-star and you didn't even touch the turf this year, and I'm paying you $4 million. I want that money back.
Here's the other thing.
You got to go.
Here's the other thing. Professional athletes get paid based off of what they've done in college, right? Like, I get it. They haven't done anything in the NFL, but they've done something.
Yes.
These high school guys that are coming into college that are freshmen are getting money paid to them without doing anything in college. And I would argue, now look, the jump from college to NFL is really big. I would argue the jump from high school to college is probably way bigger. I don't want to say way bigger, but it's big.
Dude, I mean,
it's very big. Like, you were going up against, you're in high school 17 years old, and you're getting to college, and now you're facing guys that have been in college. The speed of the game is way faster. And you don't have any experience playing in that, and you're getting paid all this money. Like I said, I am for the athlete getting paid. It's just hard to justify in my head. I'm going to give this guy coming out of high school who has done nothing for me $4 million, and he could stink. There's been a lot of 5 stars and 4 stars that have gone to college that stink.
I guess you could say that with baseball, drafting kids out of high school.
Yeah, but a lot of guys don't make it like that for sure. But they're going and they're getting paid to be good. Like
that's why you don't hear about minor leaguers.
I'm here with you on
so
your
now
argument.
we're making this basically minor league situation in these other sports, and they're millionaires, and you hear about them. They're not part of a professional sport. They're not in a actual. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of ridiculous.
The jump from high school to college. I mean, you're playing against kids who are going to join Kappa Sig to SEC football. Is a huge difference.
Yeah, burning cigarettes on Friday night after the game.
Yeah, like you have the jump is huge, and you don't. It's hard to. That's why it's so hard to predict a lot of these kids that come in. That some of them are very good athletically, but aren't very good on the field when they get to college. There's more to it than that, right?
Yeah.
You have to live on your own for the first time. You have to be a man for the first time.
Yeah.
You have to understand how to do shit on your own for the first time. So there's more to it than just football. And you're giving these kids a lot of money that you don't know. It's a risk.
Do you get that money? Well, you're going to see this year, A&M. I think A&M's a perfect case study. It's like, well, I didn't get my money's worth, and I want it back.
I guess when I look at like the NIL stuff and all that, pretty much every other like job you work, for the most part, like you're signed to a contract, and you obviously are in this too. And it's like, especially in professional sports, you can't just break the contract and bounce, bro.
Unless you're Kyrie.
That's the thing is like you have to. The problem is they want this. Like nobody's held accountable.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like there's nothing held accountable.
Well, that's what you'll find out in the next couple of years. I'd imagine. Like you said, A&M's a perfect case study, and I don't even think it's that way that you're looking at it, where they're going to say, "Hey, I paid this guy. I didn't get to see him play." It's going to be the opposite, where the player is like, "Y'all got me here as a 5-star. You paid me to come here. My ass is on the bench. I could have played at any other school in the country. Now I want to leave, but I don't know if I can because I signed a contract." Like that's what you're going to find out what happens.
If you don't say
no,
you
can leave. You just have to give your money back.
Yeah, a lot of these schools.
But how do you give the money back if the kid spends it? Like you don't know that.
They're not giving them all that money up front, right? It's
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I would imagine, just think about it, dude. We're talking about 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. Like, there's a lot of ways that are not, I guess, ways you can grow your money of spending money and blowing money, basically, as a kid. To where, like, how do you give that money back?
Yeah, well, here's my thing.
Do you think you'd have had any leftover if you'd gotten an NIL?
But that's not about me.
No.
I would have.
But it's not about me.
I would have.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I would have.
$1 million in the bank, $4 million gone.
I would have. I would have. I understood the concept of money. You know, like, everyone's different. Everyone's different. Like some people don't want to.
But I'm just saying, if he's like, all right, I paid you $2 million, it's like, well, I spent $1.5 million. I have $500,000 left over. It's like, well, I want 1.5 back, and it's like, well, I don't have that.
Well, how you gonna give it?
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, fuck.
Listen, I'm
gonna spend some of this money you're giving me.
We don't know how the money is structured, but I would assume the money is structured. Hey, this is the money you're gonna get throughout the course of a year, right? Let's say you sign this, you have 3 years, you're gonna get $300,000. You get $500,000. You get $100,000 your first year, $200,000 your second year, whatever it is, right? 100, 150, and then 250, right? Whatever the fucking numbers come out to be. Your first year, you're probably going to get your money, and they're probably going to give it to you in installments, I would assume. They're probably not going to just give you a lump sum of money so you just have it in your bank account, right? Because if something were to happen, middle of the season, you transfer out or you don't want to play anymore and you want to leave and they need your money back, like they're going to probably take care of themselves as a business person, and they're not going to give you the whole 3 years up front. So I don't know if this is – I would just assume this is how it's structured. Now, if you're the athlete and you play there the first year, you get that first year money. That's guaranteed to you because you have it. Now, you leave mid-season, you only get half that, right? And the next year, if you don't want to play, you're not going to get your second and third or fourth year of your NIL deal because you left. I would assume that's how these companies are structuring it because if not, it's bad business. That's bad business. That's a bad business strategy from the company.
Unless you have leverage on them and say,
Mikey,
I'll dip.
It's a bad business strategy to give a baseball player 13 years in a contract, but they're still doing it. We can't assume that that's how it's happening. We don't know that.
But they're not giving them. But they're not giving. I understand that's guaranteed. But they're not giving them They're not giving them all $350 million. I give it. It doesn't matter. Somebody is. Somebody will be. No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, if
Bobby
you have
Bonilla.
if you have your contract, you're getting they're not giving them the $500,000 up front. Is what I'm saying. That's what you're saying. Like, hey, someone give you a $4 million deal. They're not giving you that $4 million from the first year. They're giving it to you in installments. throughout the course of that year, so you can't blow it all. And if something does happen, they're covering themselves in the business side. That's all I'm saying.
I think you can do it in leverage, though. Be like, well, this school's offering me this much money.
That's-
So if you give me
100%.
this much
So,
guarantee.
okay, so that's my point. Like, we're sitting here saying like it's so uniform. It's not, bro.
No, it's
like
not.
it's
No,
the
no,
Wild
no,
Wild
no.
West. My point is, it's the Wild Wild West. Like, you may come to them with literally that business plan, and the next school may come to them and say, "I don't give a fuck how
Without
you give
a
it to
doubt.
them. Take the money."
Without a doubt.
So then, what happens if the kid says, "I'm bouncing," and they get screwed out of more money, and they're like, "Well, you can't." My point is, you can't. You don't know how these things are being installed, and that's why it's such a bad business plan.
I agree. I agree.
Right,
I'm
right.
saying I don't know how. I'm just assuming if I was doing it, this is how I was structuring
If you were,
it.
that's
If
my
Gordon
point.
is paying all these guys money, I would assume that's how he's structuring
And I'm
it.
assuming before there was ever a guaranteed contract, the other team is like, "Yeah, dude, we just can't do that." And one team is like, "We want him that bad. Give it all to him."
That's
And
right.
then here goes the Wild Wild West of that. So like you never know. You know what I mean? Like,
There will be teams out there that are going to guarantee the money and be like, look, all right, if this is what pushes me over the edge, we'll guarantee it. We'll give it to you right now.
I agree.
Signing bonus, too,
But
man.
they've got to regulate
Performance.
something. Like something has to come out and help it.
It's gonna be it's
It's
gonna
hard to,
be
it's
so
hard
hard
to
to
put the
roll.
toothpaste back in the tube. I get
Yeah.
that, but I don't know.
Do you kind of see all these older coaches? I mean, maybe Jay Wright's going to the
The
Lakers,
Lakers.
but like
He's going
Mark
to the
Emmert,
Lakers.
yeah, but Mark Emmert retired, Roy Williams, Coach K,
Coach K,
even for
he's dead.
example. They're kind of just like,
Joe Paterno.
yes, fuck this. This is just so can
I
of
don't
worms. I
know.
don't even want to open.
I don't know if it's if I think those guys that have retired, it was time for them to retire. I don't think it had anything to do with like them trying not to be able to compete with the NIL stuff. I think it was just over it in their mind.
I mean, you saw
Roy
Matt,
Williams was adamant. He's like, this is past mine.
yeah, and you saw Matt Luke, who was the coach for Ole Miss, obviously got replaced, but he quit coaching. He's like, I can't keep up with this. Like what we're doing in college football, this is untenable
no
for us
doubt.
to figure out.
Yeah.
Like your work day just got from they probably already work 18-hour days.
Well, they
Now
work
it's-
more than the NFL.
Yeah, now it's 24-hour days because you look at what happened at
Oh,
Pitt.
yeah.
Look at Pat
Because you have to
Narduzzi.
recruit.
He thought, going into next year, he's like, well, at least I have Jordan
my
Addison
staple.
coming back. I have the Blitnikoff winner. Look what Pitt did for you. Doesn't matter what school you go to if you're
There's
good.
no loyalty,
Right.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I just lost my best player. I lost my quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, fuck this job.
no doubt.
I'm 68
How do you
years
feel right now
old.
if you're the
Are you gonna be
Oklahoma coach?
analysis?
How do you feel right now if you're the Oklahoma coach?
Britt Venables?
Yeah, like you got paid more, but you're like, this ain't even fucking same team.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough.
I have a quarterback. I came here because of the
I
quarterback.
lost
It
both
makes
the
the playing
quarterbacks.
field-
I don't even have either one of them. They're both gone.
It makes the playing field very unlevel,
Yeah.
uneven. Like,
And it
really does.
always has been.
Yeah, but it makes even more.
Yeah.
It
But
makes even more.
now there's a group of 6 or 7 or 8 teams maybe that will be in it every year. If you can scout people like they just did to Pitt,
Man, but like I really don't believe that. The reason why I say I don't believe that, like, who's to say UCLA over the next 4 years doesn't get a ton of boosters
Right,
that
no
just
doubt,
say
no
we'll throw
doubt.
all the money there? Who's
sure,
to say
but-
you go back down like you
well, no, but still, okay, you can add 1 or 2 teams. There's only so many schools that have that financial
Well,
I
Like
disagree. I
Northwestern,
disagree
one
with
of the
that. I
largest
disagree with that.
endowments.
There's a lot of schools
what I
that have
said,
a lot
you
of
don't-
money.
we don't
that
know
can spend
that,
the money.
yeah.
Harvard.
I do disagree with that. Now, there
No,
won't
wait,
be-
time out. Not even that. We're talking about the schools that have the money, right? Already, that traditionally that we know. We're not talking about the alumni that left that doesn't give it back right now. That all of a sudden won't say, "Fuck that. Let's make this
Right.
this university great."
That's why Arkansas has got so much money. 'cause
That's
they're
so my,
alumni.
so my point
Yeah.
to it is you just never know where it might pop up at, like randomly.
Like Arkansas is not a school you're like, damn, Arkansas, but they got more money than anyone because they got 3 of the biggest
Yeah.
alumni out there.
man.
You know, like I don't think that Jerry Jones, Walmart, like they have a bunch
Tyson.
of them.
oh yeah, we're anti-Arkansas. We're anti-Walmart until we free Stewie.
New car. So
Yeah, you need a new car.
Target, baby. Target.
But I think that like the top schools that have money, they're going to be able to compete. You're not going to see any of the underdog mid-majors, which is okay. Like they're not.
yeah.
Well, Jack made a good point actually. With all of the money that is in the Ivy League schools, they have the biggest and
What's up
richest
with Mark
alumni
Zuckerberg?
base.
Caring
Yeah.
about football. You know,
Yeah.
if you actually cared about football.
but that's my point. I guess that's the point I'm using. Like we're sitting here saying, "Oh, it's a 6 or 8." It could pop off anywhere now.
I mean,
agree.
yes.
Over a course of 3 to 4, it
Yeah.
could pop off anywhere.
if
now.
they keep the current
Jimbo,
model,
I love
absolutely.
Jimbo to death. He won't tell it, but how the hell did Texas A&M get in this thing right here this quick?
It's called an endowment.
Like, I mean, come
Telling you,
on
we
now.
got $30 million.
I'd be
Telling
dumb
me we got
coach
$30 million.
alive.
I'd be a fool to leave Texas A&M.
Shit.
Boy, what a